Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Life School Masterclass show. I'm back with you on a beautiful Friday with another beautiful, amazing connection from my Facebook group community, Nicole Gebhardt. She's not only a beautiful person, but the work that she does in the world is really, really absolutely magical and very, very inspiring. So I can't wait to introduce her to you and learn a little bit more regarding what she does and also the amazing nuggets she'll share with us to empower ourselves. So,
Yes.
Nicole, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. I'm super excited.
I'm super, super excited to have you. I know we have tried to set up other time, so I'm
This
so
was
glad
meant to be
we're
today.
finding the space, yeah, together to really have this amazing heart-to-heart chat. As kind of what I love about bringing people on and sharing the beautiful conversation and the journey together, and also the communities together, because collaboration is really how what's really important, and us as women, I think it's really important to understand that collaboration is magical, and
I
we
100% women supporting queens is what I say.
queen supporting queens. And you inspired me today because I did make a post about what it means to me to have a queen mindset. And it's because I got inspired from a lot of your content. So I know you speak about that and women empowerment. So before we get into that, let's start with an introduction. Tell me a little bit more regarding your journey, or I guess the pivotal points that led you to the work you're doing now.
Absolutely. Again, thank you for having me today. I love being able to share my story, for one, so women can know that they're not alone. And number two, so they can know that you can literally walk through the worst times and still come out on top and still see your dreams come true and feel worthy and beautiful and more than enough. I have been through a lot. We all have a story. Mine starts back. I lost my first son when he was 9 weeks old. It was my first day back from maternity leave, working as an infant toddler development specialist. I walked in his nursery and found him lifeless, cold to the touch. He was dead. I placed him on the floor, began giving him CPR, trying to bring him back to life, but he was already gone. And then I had to plan a funeral, and it was absolutely devastating. And then I went on to have 2 miscarriages and lost 2 baby girls pretty far in the womb as well. I was raped my freshman year of college by a group of fraternity brothers at Florida State University. It was a gang rape. I was passed around like a baby doll. And when I went and told some sorority sisters about it, they didn't believe me. So when it happened later in life, I didn't say anything. I was molested by my own father when I was a little girl with a lot of other verbal abuse. And I was abused so much in my first marriage. I'm not quite sure how I survived the emotional, mental, and psychological abuse. I walked in on him rolling a $20 bill, snorting a line of cocaine while abusing our daughter. So I was 7 months pregnant, grabbed the baby out of the tub, had a 1-year-old in the crib. And like I said, I was pregnant, and we ran for our life. I had no clue how I was going to keep food on the table, roof over our head. We were living on food stamps, but I was bound and determined to get out. So after my son died, I really ran to alcohol. I never wanted to think about, I had lost this child, all the abuse, the rape, all that I had gone through. So I would use it as a kind of a clutch to help me get through the day. Well, it was Infant Loss and Miscarriage Awareness Day, October 15th, 2019. I got completely drunk, ended up falling down 2 flights of stairs. My husband found me at the bottom and said I was barely breathing, barely responding. So he called 911. The first responders got me to the emergency room, and the doctors in the ER said I wasn't going to survive. I was 5 times the legal limit, brain bleed, brain contusion, concussion. Well, after a week in ICU, I did wake up. And when I woke up that day, everything looked different. And I realized, God, whatever your higher powers did not want me to be so miserable. PTSD, insomnia, anxiety, everything. And so I started trying to figure out who Nicole Gebhardt was. Not the mother of 6. I now have 6 living children, not the military spouse. We are a military family as well. But who was I? And in digging into that, I was able to realize that I was enough and that I could heal. And I turned that pain into purpose. And now I'm celebrating 3 years of sobriety. I am now a coach. I coach women that have been raped, molested, abused, lost children like myself, as well as recovering alcoholics. And I get to share my story all over the world. I speak, and then my book, Rule Your Throne, Own Your Queendom, came out in November. And it has just been such a journey to realize I experienced it all. Like I went through so much, but now I get to use my voice and empower other women and show them that they can heal too.
Hmm. Well, you are amazing. I mean, you are amazing. All the things that you shared, but most importantly, how you've been able to heal yourself through that journey, through all those challenges that you mentioned, and do the work that you're doing today. What kind of how do you do that? Where do you start that process of healing? How did you, realize that, okay, enough of this, I'm going to start turning this, heal myself through it, and then turn it into a positive impact for another woman that might be going through something similar?
Well, I think when I woke up in that hospital bed when I should have died, and I saw my husband sitting there, like just so dying inside, thinking his wife was gone, that was one thing. Like I realized, like I had put alcohol before my family. I was on the verge of divorce with my husband. It was literally killing me. Also, one of the biggest things I did is I realized it's okay to ask for help. And the moment I started doing that, other military spouses, other women were flooding in wanting to help me. When I got out of the hospital, I was on bed rest for a month. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't take care of my children. My husband, we're stationed here at the Pentagon, he had to get back to work. My mother had to come live with us for a while. Friends were bringing lunches, meals at the doorstep. So the one thing I want to tell women, or one of the things, is it's okay to ask for help. I also realized it's okay to put yourself first. If you're not doing things for yourself, you will never be the best mother, the best friend, the best coach, the best wife. You've got to put yourself first sometimes, and that's okay. Another thing is I really wanted to get to the point where I loved myself, that I wasn't just every time I looked in the mirror, I was just devastated in what I was seeing. So I started journaling, I started meditating, I did Reiki energy healing. I did all of these things to start to realize that I was worthy and I was enough to live this beautiful life that I've always dreamed of living.
Mm. Well, good for you for turning your journey and your process of healing into, not only the message that you want to share with other women, but utilizing your story as that channel, giving someone else hope that might be in that situation, but maybe they don't know where to start. How do you start that process? How do you get back up and start to love yourself and figure out who you are and all of that? I love the fact the fact that you said about serving, because us as women, I've had to do my own healing journey through this. We are, raised and, maybe our natural or our intuition to serve other people first and go into the self-sacrificing thing. But the best thing we could do is serve others through serving ourselves first. So that's a big lesson for a lot of
Yeah,
us.
and that's something I
to
tell
just
all my
know
clients. Make sure each week you're doing at least one thing for yourself. And it doesn't have to be this huge shopping trip. It can be taking a bath or dancing in your kitchen or something that's for yourself. It's okay to fill your own cup before you fill others.
Absolutely. And ask for help. That's a big one. That's a big one. I've had
And
to
the thing,
also.
like I said, once you ask for help, you'll start seeing everybody wants to help you. That's the truth. That's why I share my story for all the other women that have been raped, abused, recovering addicts, lost children. We want to help you. Please ask.
Mm. And how does that show up in your parenting, Nicole? Because I know you mentioned that that's been a journey for you. So doing this inner work with yourself and finding your own power and healing through that and learning to love yourself and just know you are enough. How does that transfer into the parenting with your kids?
It transfers hugely. I know people, it just kind of rocks them when I say, as hard as my past was, I wouldn't change it, because it's made me into the mother I am today. It's made the relationships with my children, those that you dream of. They know they're safe to come talk to me. They know it's okay to express their feelings. They know that my girls are little mini queens. That's what I want to put in their future, in their head. They post little notes, their little affirmations around the house because they see me put them on the mirrors. Our children are always watching, and this, me learning to love myself, is showing my children that they can love themselves too, that they are worthy to love themselves as a child and as they grow up into these beautiful queens.
Wow, that's powerful, because I always say when you know better, you want to do better. And parenting is one of those missions in life that we all want to do well. And,
Right.
we do a lot of our why comes from, especially as women, it comes from, the time we want to spend with them or the things we want to change generationally that no longer serve us and serve them. And I always say that it's your most significant audience. They're always
It really
watching.
is. They are always, they pick up on everything. My little daughter now calls herself a mini queen because she always says, she hears mommy say queen. They've got these little affirmations and they'll write on my mirror, you are beautiful, you are amazing, you are enough. They are always watching us. And it's amazing to be able to teach them at a young age so they can grow up knowing that they deserve the world too.
And you're setting them up for success, right? Because I always find if they have that already in them, those affirmations, those thoughts about themselves, that self-esteem is a big thing.
It's huge.
I mean,
Confidence is
everything
huge.
in life is self-esteem and confidence, right? I mean,
It really
the
is.
confidence to pursue your dreams, the confidence to defy the odds, the confidence to follow your heart, right? All of that, right? Whatever else they do, I always find that, you're setting them up really well. And that investment you're making, in your kids, because I like looking at everything as investment in business, kids, investment in ourselves, right? It's an investment that will pay you huge dividends later on when they're happy, right? And they're solid human beings and that they have really strong values and they will just, follow their own path later on because
Very
everyone,
true. One of the biggest things,
uh,
like you said, when I have clients come in, I said, what do you want to change or what do you want to work on? I want to be the best mom that I can be. In order to do that, you have to love yourself. You have to put yourself first and love yourself. When you get on an airplane and they say, you got to put your own mask before you, assist others. That's what you got to do. If you want to be that best mom, invest in yourself. Let your children see that it's okay to invest in yourself first.
absolutely. And that leads me to the next question. What are some of the major motivators for women that come to you that want to do this kind of work? What is it that they're experiencing that you find mostly from your clients?
One of the hugest things I like to do with my clients is mirror work. I like to do that in the beginning. I watch them talk to themselves in a mirror and what are they saying to themselves? And unfortunately, most women, we get into our own heads and we say, I should be skinnier, I should be prettier, I should have blonde hair, I should look like this. But the moment that you start doing that mirror work and you talk to yourself, I am enough. I am worthy. I am beautiful. I am sexy, whatever you want to be, it'll sink in. Another big thing that I tell my clients is you got to journal. You got to take time to meditate and quiet your mind and then journal that out. I cannot tell you how healing it has been to write a book. As you know, it is so healing because you're like, okay, I need to work on that. Okay, I did that. Okay, it's just a beautiful thing. So I encourage my clients to journal, do the mirror work, do the self affirmations, meditate. Another thing I personally love is Reiki energy healing. You can see my table in the back right now. It takes you to that next level. And I just want women to know also that invest in yourself, read the book, buy the journal, hire the coach, whatever it's going to take you to make you love yourself and be a better woman for yourself and for your family. Do it. It's okay to invest in that.
Absolutely. I love the mirror thing that you mentioned because I always find that however other people react, it's really an opportunity for us to look in our own self, right? It's there. Everyone's always usually holding up a mirror. And sometimes,
Right?
we just like grasp this concept that it's always about us, not selfishly, but
Mhm.
selflessly, that there's something we could, if it's triggering us in a certain way, everyone's just always holding up a mirror. And if we just, listen to our inner intuition that we have resistance or fear or whatever else we might feel, there's something within us that needs taking a look at, that needs,
So true.
more awareness or just more patient, be patient with ourselves to kind of look at that. And this is coming up for me a lot lately. But I do find that everyone is always our mirror. And rather than take the blame and put the blame on other people, kind of look at why did that bother me?
Oh,
What is
yeah.
that triggering me? So I think if we're always aware and we kind of always are holding that, being patient with ourselves,
Yeah.
um, we can discover so much within
It's
that's
very true. I think for years I took on that victim mentality. Oh, I lost my child. Oh, I was sexually abused. Oh, I was, physically abused. But the moment that I changed that mindset into victim, survivor, thriver, queen, I started attracting all the women, all the other people that I wanted in my life. And it's very true. We are a mirror. Whatever we're putting out is what we're going to get back. And if you want to have more support, more love, you got to put that out too. You get what you get, you've got to be putting that love. And that's why I love to spread love. Why do we not all want to feel better and happy? And that's why I like to sing, just because life is already so hard. It's hard no matter what. Even if you've healed, life's still hard. You still got to work. You still got to do things. And so the moment that you realize that it's okay to spread joy and be happy, that's another big thing. I have some clients that come in and say, I just want to be happy. I just want to be happy. But it's easy to do that. And the bottom line is you control that. No one else can control your happiness but you. And you've got to do the work. It will not happen overnight. It will take time, but it all starts with you.
Mm. Thank you for that message, Nicole, because I'm in my own journey of defying, I guess, a traditional world of building a business, where a lot of times the messaging or the marketing is all about like quick results, quick, like make money here, make money there, the same way, heal in 30 minutes, or it's a journey, right? So I think we have to have that long-term mindset and understand that this is always, especially self-work. I find this is the work of our lives. This is like whatever you heal, is gonna come up in a different way, right? But the more you gain the skills through working with you and your mentorship and the guidance that you give women, the more you empower yourself to have the tools now to empower yourself, so that when you are dealing with that, you know what to look for, because we all know awareness is always the first step. I mean, if we're not aware, forget it. We just don't know. We can't tackle it.
Very true. So my son that passed, his birthday was this past December 22nd. He would have been turning 14 years old. And I got really triggered. And I will say, even if you've healed so much, there's always something else going on. And I started thinking, why am I so triggered by this year? Well, when I started digging deeper and doing the, meditating and journaling, and I did mirror work, I looked at myself for 10 minutes and said, what is going on here? It was that I was still blaming myself for his death. I had not forgiven myself. I knew I had nothing to do with his death. But as a person, you start to think, well, if I'd done this differently, if I'd done this, it was my fault. So that's what I do want to tell women. There are going to be other triggers that come up, but it's how you learn to deal with them. I knew when I hit that trigger, I needed to go look in the mirror, time myself, as well as start to journal. And then I was able to start, okay, I need to forgive myself. I ended up writing a letter to myself, forgiving myself, and then burning it. So yes, triggers will continue to come up, but it's how you deal with them once you've really done some work.
Wow. Absolutely. Well, amazing work. I mean, kudos to you. And you could tell you do it with passion. I always say purpose-driven entrepreneurs, people that just love what they do and they feel it makes an impact. You're changing lives every day through the transformation you're giving your clients on the day-to-day basis. But not only that, everyone else is watching, right? Someone else is consuming your social media content or all the free content that we put out, right? You just never know. You just never know who could be reading it.
Never know.
You have to share your vulnerability and your truth, and you have to be okay with that. And
very true.
Take a lot of courage.
Oh, thank you. I think that's the reason why, like when you're sitting there, like if I'm putting on social media, which I do, what's happened to me and the abuse or the child loss, whatever I'm putting out there, it's hard. Even like for yourself, you're like, okay, I'm putting this out there. But the reason why I do it is because if at least one woman sees it, it gives me chills. One woman says, okay, I can do this. I will get better. It's worth it. It's worth it to me. Me sharing my vulnerable story, if it helps one woman, then I've done my purpose.
Mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished. Check that off.
We share the same vision with that one for sure. The power of one, I call it. And
Amen.
Especially when you're just starting your business, it's so easy to be in comparison. And it's like, focus on the one thing. Just it really focuses your attention too, which is great, because focus is another challenge for a lot of us. So focus on the one thing, one person, and it becomes 2, 3, 4, 5.
Exactly. That's what, when people reach out to me, how did you get here? I started where you're starting today. It took 1, 2, 3. And if you believe in yourself and you show up and you don't give up and you keep doing it, it will happen. It will come.
Yeah, I think the biggest gift you're giving women is confidence, because just like we talked about with your children, the same way my kids, I feel like that's the biggest thing I've worked with them on is confidence, self-esteem, because everything else is like a byproduct, right? You have to believe in what you do, go for, what your heart is telling you, listen to your heart and all that, all these messages we always hear, but they're just beautiful messages unless we experience them, right? I mean,
it's very true. And that is probably one of the 2 biggest compliments that I think you can give a woman for me is you are glowing, like they can see that you're happy, you're glowing, and that you've got confidence. I had a client come in last week for Reiki energy healing, and she left a coaching client, and I read her review, what she wrote for me online. And she said, it was your confidence. You were confident in what you were telling me. And she signed up with me. So yes, confidence is amazing. Confidence is you ruling your throne and owning your queendom.
That's it. And
Yep.
being confident attracts, it gives
The right
other
people.
people the security
Oh,
that
yeah.
they're looking for, because at the end of the day, everyone that needs help is not sure, right? Whether it's
Right.
business, whether it's, other areas of life they're trying to explore. So confidence is powerful, and everything is energy, right? We always
All
attract.
energy. Oh
Always
yeah.
attract.
All
When we
energy.
are in lack, I always find the same way. I use the mirror thing all the time. I'm like, okay, I have to look at something because I'm attracting, not the
Yes. And you
not
feel
the
it
right
too. You know it's
people.
happening. You're like, okay, what do I need to shift here? What energy vibe do I need to shift here?
Yeah, amazing work. Tell me about your book. I love books. We have that passion in common. I
Yes.
find it's a legacy product. It's not only healing and therapeutical, but it really organizes all your life experiences, and it structures for people, and it becomes, guide for someone else to consume it. So tell me the main purpose of the book. What can they find inside the book? Do you have a framework or certain thing that you walk people through?
I knew for a long time when I got sober and clean, and when I tried to commit suicide and it didn't work, I knew I wanted to do something big. I knew it was going to be something really, really big. And it ended up being writing a book. And I will share this too, because of my social media, a publisher reached out to me. And so that's kind of how that connection. So what you're putting out, everybody is always watching, like we talked about. And it has been life changing. It has been healing for me. It has been like the most amazing experience. And what I do is I go and talk about my story that I just briefly talked about, but I share how I did it. I get into the nitty gritty of exactly what I did to heal from a rape, to heal from losing a child, to heal from the abuse, to heal from the addiction. And so that is the beauty of the book. You can literally read this book from cover to cover and start this healing journey for yourself. And that's what I wanted to do. And now I want to be a serial book writer. I'm going to have all these books coming out. But I also did it in honor of my son. When my son died, I told him at his funeral, your legacy will live on. So my book is dedicated to my son that died.
Well, you gave me chills. I definitely gotta check out and grab your book there. But yeah, you have the book bug now. Like once you get infected
You
with
can't stop. It's kind of like with me, once you get a tattoo, you keep on going.
So, but I mean, yeah, I always say content, like we consume content, like we put out so much videos, so many things, right? But and you're leaving your experience along the journey for other people to kind of, take it, consume it, and love on it and use it, right? That's the biggest ask that we always want as coaches, right?
Yes.
I always I wish for people to use this so they can change their lives and implement it and all of that. I think we always want to do that through anything we really create, or as entrepreneurs. But a book is just that thing. Like I can leave my kids can read it, my grandkids can read
Exactly.
it.
If you're leaving a legacy, you're
Fine. Let me see
leaving
what
a legacy.
what grandma is talking about, like,
And
all
it's
her
a big
knowledge.
deal. Think about being a published author. That is a huge
Yeah.
deal. No woman should minimize that. That is a big deal to get a published book, that especially when you're using it for self-worth and to help others, empower other people, whether it's women or whoever it is. So yes, I think it's so amazing to put that out there, to share that with the world.
Absolutely. And I wish, like, I'm getting older. I wish I could like pick up clues. Now I'm going back researching my grandparents and all, because I want to know where I came from. Like I
Right?
find that we're always building on prior generations,
Yeah.
nobody came here just, okay, I showed up,
Right.
in life. You're always like, my parents had to do certain things so that I could do the work I'm doing now. And now I'm hopefully setting the foundation, the stage for my kids to kind of do even bigger, better things, right? Because
Right.
we're always evolving as people and generations. So like, I always like picture, if my grandparents like have a book and I could just read about
Read
their
it.
story, or like
Yeah.
why they did, how they thought about certain things, that wisdom and knowledge that you leave
Right.
behind from life experience, it's invaluable. I think it just becomes more valuable as years come, as years kind of pass. So anyway, yeah, writing a book is one of those really amazing things to really build an amazing brand, right? We always
Yeah.
talk about branding in business,
Oh, yeah.
and that's the best way for people to get to know you, when they have it on their bookshelf. They always see it, right? It's like the best business card
It
and the
really
anything else,
And it's
right?
like
I don't do business
$45.
cards
That's a
anymore.
lot cheaper than the
Here's
coaching.
my
So,
book. I have it everywhere. It's like, here's a copy of my book, Best Way to Know Me. Here's my
I
framework.
love it.
Use it. You know,
It's
you
so
got
true.
it.
Tell me about you. Well, here's my book.
That's it. So
It's all there.
it's amazing. What is the title of your book, Nicole?
Rule
And
your throne, own your queendom.
say it again.
Rule your throne, own your queendom, which is what I say all the time. Rule your throne and own your queendom. It's learning about how to love yourself and spread that love out into the world.
Amazing. And I'm guessing it's on Amazon, right?
It will be on Amazon on Valentine's Day, but right now you can purchase it from our website at NicoleBGebhardt.com.
Amazing. And also, where is it that people can find more about you? Where is your best content? I always ask people, like, where do you store your best valuable content? Where
Social
people
media or website?
know you?
Are you
Anywhere
talking-
you would like.
So
Both places.
spirituallighthousehealing.com is my big website. It shares my story. It shares why I do what I do, how I do what I do. And you can book appointments with me. That's spirituallighthousehealing.com. And then my Facebook is Nicole B. Gebhardt if you want to join that. And I've got a private group called The Worthy Femme, where I encourage other women to share their stories in a safe, private space.
Absolutely. Guys, go check her out. You're also an amazing connector, because I see, you know, the way that you are connecting with other women on there. So you have built quite a tribe. Good for
Thank
you.
you.
Like, good
Thank
for
you.
you, you know, and really making that impact. I think at the end of the day, that's all, you know, it's what we want. I always say, I don't want to be famous. I just want to be influential in a positive way and make
Right.
small or big impact, however, right, in my journey. And
Yeah.
when I come at the end of life, I'm like, okay, I did something good for humanity and people. Like, you just, you know, I did something, I left something behind, and having this
Exactly.
legacy mindset, I
And
think
it's
it's
amazing to be able to use your story to help others, for sure.
absolutely. Nicole, let's end with a final message. I know we gave out a lot of messages because it was so intuitive and organic based on our conversation, but just one final message from your school of life.
I think it would be
always share
that no matter what you've experienced or how your life is right now, you have to realize how far you've come. You're not the same woman you were a year ago. You're not the same woman you were a week ago. And that no matter what you've experienced, it was not your fault, and that you are worthy to have a beautiful life, and that you're not just enough. You're really more than enough, and you deserve the world to no longer feel anxious, depressed, PTSD, insomnia. So do the work. It won't happen overnight, but once you do that, you will reap all the benefits.
Absolutely. With that, we end. I thank you, Nicole, for all the beautiful messages. And I intuitively felt that it was going to be a very organic, heart-to-heart conversation. So I really hope that the viewers or people watching this will also walk away with with inspiration. We always need inspiration, right?
Amen.
We always need inspiration because we're humans, human beings, and we get inspired by other people's models and, you know, people that we like, and that builds trust, and trust is at the core of human relationships.
Trust is everything. Trust is everything. That's where it starts.
Thank you so much. And I will see you with another interview and another guest. Bye for now.